Today I'd like to get into this Prager video talking about science and God, and essentially this video seems to be about saying we can use science to prove God or something to that effect. I'm Andrew Levy, and this is The American Dream.
But are we the product of such indifference? That is, purely materialistic processes that did not have us in mind, as another scientific atheist has put it? Does the universe have the properties we should expect if this all there is matter vision of reality is correct? Perhaps not. Three major scientific discoveries contradict the expectations of scientific atheists and point instead in a distinctly God-friendly direction. First, the Big Bang. Discoveries in observational astronomy and developments in theoretical physics have revealed that the universe had a beginning. This is contrary to the expectation of scientific materialists, who long portrayed the universe as eternal and self-existent, and therefore in no need of an external creator.
So the fact here is that an atheist that sees this, all he's going to conclude is that to keep following the science. This is not a new idea to atheists. You tell an atheist the science is wrong, and they're like, what? The science is wrong? How could the science be wrong? It's science. It's God. That's not actually how atheists view science. Atheists view science as the best we have to find the truth. Not that it's some being that is all, that's omnipotent and omniscient and all that stuff. That's not what science is. Science can be wrong, and they know in the past science has been wrong. And what happens? They keep trying to find the truth. They call this following the science. The science goes one way, then goes another way and proves it wrong. The atheist believes, well, we have the humility. We have that where religious people don't. Religious people just have what the Bible says, and the Bible says in the beginning God created the world, therefore there must be a beginning. Well, that was put to a question, and they concluded that they can't find how that is. Now they can find how that is. So what's the atheist going to say? Okay, we're following the science. We're leading to the truth. Just because it happens to agree with your religious text now, that doesn't mean we're now all of a sudden going to drop this idea of evidence and science and following all this stuff and just now believe in God and become religious. As far as I can tell, there has been no evidence or proof whatsoever that anything supernatural, spiritual, or a God can exist based on anything that was said. All that we know from here is that the science said one thing, and now the science is saying another thing. And you follow what we know. If you don't know a thing, you can't say a thing you don't know, you know. You can question it. You can say, well, we don't really know this, but that's what they're concluding. This is what makes sense based on what they know at the time. Now there's new information, so they're knowing new stuff now. And the atheist would say, that's great, and we're going to keep following it. It makes sense. We're analyzing it and whatever it is, and we're going to keep up with it and actually get to the truth and find the nature and how everything actually functions in nature, not this idea that everything's from some supernatural, all-powerful God being creature that, as far as an atheist is concerned, is an impossibility to exist based on the fact everything that we know exists based on the evidence is in nature, is natural, this is what an atheist would know. I don't even need to ask an atheist this question. I know from listening to atheists for years, I know what atheists think, and I can guarantee you, most atheists, as far as I know, would agree with me 100% on everything I'm saying, as if I'm speaking as an atheist for an atheist.
This evidence for a beginning has instead confirmed the expectation of theists. Nobel laureate Arno Penzias helped make a key discovery establishing a cosmic beginning. He later observed, "The best data we have are exactly what I would have predicted had I nothing to go on but the first 5 books of Moses and the Bible as a whole."
So this guy is saying the science and the Bible, they line up. If you just read the Bible, that's all he would need to know. Okay, so there's information in the Bible that says stuff that lines up with stuff today from the science. And what this is actually really saying is there's science being questioned. And the science being questioned goes against the religious beliefs. But now there's new science, new science, whatever it is, there's science out there that's now going with the Bible. So what is he doing? He's saying, oh, look, we have science that actually proves the Bible because it goes along with the Bible. But nothing here actually proves that. You can throw all the scientists in the world, and at the end of the day, unless you provide evidence, legitimate, tangible evidence, that there's anything spiritual, supernatural, something that you can actually conclude that this makes sense, that there can be a God of some sort, only at that point would a legitimate atheist say there's a God. And they don't, it depends what the conclusion of the thing is. Maybe they would conclude it's something that's maybe of a supernatural or a spiritual being that's not necessarily considered a God that can do things that a God can do. It really depends on what it is. This is this is a big reach, and to expect an atheist to make this reach is complete nonsense. There's no way an atheist would just hear, oh, well, we got these people, and look, there's a beginning, and it lines up with the Bible, so therefore this is going to actually be convincing now as evidence. This is convincing evidence that there is a God. Really? if you actually understand atheists, I just would ask you, listen to what atheists are saying. Listen to their views. Understand. If you can understand what the atheists are saying, what their views are and all that stuff, you would understand this video does not do anything to actually change an atheist's mind, nor would I imagine it does anything to prevent a person from becoming an atheist. If you were to engage with an atheist and you have all this information here that's being presented on this video, the atheist would just argue what I'm arguing, and then the person would have nothing to say. And either what you're saying would have been convincing enough where that person would have been closed-minded, I guess, to the extent that they're believing things that are not based on evidence. And there's no way to prove it. It's just, there's no way to win this argument with an atheist. That's the problem here. That's the main, the reason I want to get to all this stuff, because the idea is attacking atheists and proving atheists wrong, and how science is on religious people's sides with the God and all that stuff, when this does not make any sense. This is not for me. I'm not buying this. It's not working for me. I'm not seeing the evidence. And yeah,